Hey everyone, and welcome back. We are diving into something pretty huge today, something that's really changing the game, machine learning, and specifically how it's shaking up the world of SEO. We've got some seriously cool articles here, and one company in particular, Market Brew, is doing some really fascinating stuff in this space.
Yeah, it's about time. It feels like everybody's talking about AI and machine learning these days, but Market Brew actually seems to be applying it to SEO in a way that, gets real results.
Right, like finally. Okay, but before we go full speed ahead here, can you give us a super quick breakdown of what machine learning even is? For those of us who might not be, coding whizzes.
Sure, so imagine this. You have this absolutely massive library of information like, think websites, articles, videos, just endless amounts of data, right?
Yeah.
And you want to organize it all in a way that actually makes sense. So instead of, manually sorting through everything yourself, you create an algorithm, a program that can actually learn from the data all by itself. That's basically machine learning in action.
So it's kind of like how Netflix seems to know what movies you'll enjoy, like before you even know yourself.
Exactly. But instead of movie recommendations, we're talking about Google using it to serve up the best, most relevant websites based on your search. And here's the really crazy part. Those algorithms that Google uses, they're constantly learning from how people behave online. Every single search, every click you make, how long you stay on a page, it all feeds back into the system, and it refines those results constantly.
Okay, that's honestly both really cool and kind of creepy at the same time. One of the articles we have actually mentioned something called rank brain, which I've definitely heard of but never really understood. What exactly is rank brain?
So RankBrain is essentially Google's brain. It's this incredibly sophisticated algorithm that uses machine learning to actually try to understand what you mean when you type in a search. And it's not just about keywords anymore either. It's way more than that. It's about your intent, what you're really looking for, the context of your search, even your past behavior online.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. But if Google's using all these different types of machine learning to rank websites, does that mean SEO is basically impossible for the rest of us now?
I wouldn't say impossible, but it's definitely becoming a lot more complex, that's for sure. Think of it this way. SEO used to be like, navigating with a static map. Now, that map is constantly shifting and changing based on real-time traffic, what
Sure.
the weather's like, even if there's construction.
So how are we even supposed to keep up with that? Is that where Market Brew comes in? Because they seem to be doing something completely different with machine learning, right?
They really are, yeah. And that's what I find so fascinating. Instead of just trying to keep up with all of Google's changes, they seem to have found a way to actually, anticipate them. They're kind of playing 4D chess while the rest of us are still stuck on checkers.
Okay, so Google's playing 4D chess, got it. But what does that actually mean for the stuff that we can control? Like
Mm.
keywords, content, that's still important, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Those were like the fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
But now, machine learning. It's like someone handed us this whole upgrade to our toolkit. Like, take keyword research, for example. Instead of just, going with our gut or using those same old tools, we can actually use algorithms now. Algorithms that look at, tons of data, real people making real searches.
So we're not just trying to guess what people are searching for anymore.
Exactly.
We can see what's working in real time.
Exactly. And not only that, but machine learning can actually uncover stuff that we might miss completely on our own, like those super specific long-tail keywords, the ones with way less competition, but really high intent from searchers. It's like finding a shortcut to the top of Google.
Okay, I love this. It's like keyword treasure hunting. I'm into it. But it's not just about keywords, right? What about content? The articles also mentioned machine learning's impact there too.
Right, because it's not enough to just shove a bunch of keywords onto a page anymore. Google's algorithms, especially that rank brain thing we talked about, they're getting really, really good at figuring out what your content actually means. They can tell if it's actually useful, if it makes sense, if it's engaging to read, or if you're just trying to game the system.
Okay, so how do we make sure our content is, actually good in Google's eyes then? Does Market Brew do anything to help with that too?
They totally do. And this is where it gets even more interesting. They've built this whole platform that actually uses machine learning to analyze your content. And then it gives you recommendations based on, what Google seems to actually like.
So it's like having a team of SEO experts just like whispering in your ear 24/7.
Pretty much. And what's really cool is that it can help you avoid those common mistakes that might be hurting your rankings without you even realizing it?
That's incredible. So it sounds like this could be like a total game changer for businesses that really rely on organic search traffic.
It really could. And the thing I find the most interesting about Market Brew is their whole approach to basically like simulating how Google's algorithms work.
Oh, yeah, that Google Simulator thing. That's what totally blew my mind when I was reading about it. How do they even do that? Is that even legal?
It's totally legal, don't worry. It's based on this really fascinating concept called particle swarm optimization, PSO for short.
PSO? Okay, I'm going to need you to break that down for me.
Okay, so imagine like a flock of birds, right?
Yeah.
All flying around, searching for food. They explore different areas, they communicate with each other, and eventually they zero in on like the absolute best spot to find what they're looking for.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get the bird analogy,
Mhm.
but how does that translate into something that can, like, actually simulate Google?
So in Market Brew's system, each bird is basically a different SEO strategy, like a
Yeah.
specific combo of keywords, content, backlinks, all that stuff that Google looks at, right?
Mhm.
And then they basically let all these birds loose in their simulator.
Hmm.
And their algorithms can actually track which ones consistently get the best rankings over time.
So it's like they're running thousands, maybe millions of these SEO experiments without ever actually touching a live website. That's insane.
It is pretty crazy when you think about it that way. And the really impressive part, they've actually tested their simulator against how Google really ranks things.
Yeah.
And according to the articles and research we've seen, it's scarily accurate.
Wow, that's kind of amazing and also a little unsettling, right? So it's like having this magic crystal ball that shows you how Google might rank your website based on different strategies before you even do anything.
Exactly. And that's huge because it takes out so much of the guesswork that we used to have to do with SEO. Instead of just like blindly making changes and hoping for the best, you can actually get a pretty good idea of how Google might respond before you do anything.
This PSO score that they mention on their website, that's basically how they measure how accurate the simulator is, right?
Yeah, exactly. Think of it like a confidence score. The higher the PSO score, the more confident you could be that their predictions are actually going to line up with reality.
Okay, so this is all incredibly cool and super fascinating, but I think the big question for our listeners is like, why does any of this even matter?
Because SEO is changing fast. And machine learning, this isn't just some like passing fad. This is fundamentally changing how Google ranks websites. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, if you want to keep getting those top rankings, you've got to at least understand this stuff and start figuring out how to actually use it to your advantage.
And it sounds like tools like what Market Brew is building are making that a whole lot easier for people, which is awesome.
Totally. And the thing is, we're really just scratching the surface here. Machine learning and SEO, it's still so new, and who knows what's going to be possible even a year or two down the line.
It's definitely both, exciting and a little bit overwhelming all at the same time. But hey, that's what makes SEO so interesting, right?
Absolutely. Always something new to learn, always something new to try.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive into the crazy world of machine learning SEO. A huge, huge thank you to you, our expert, for breaking it all down for us, to everyone listening for coming along on this journey with us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep experimenting, and keep those rankings sky high.